This is a world full of so many interesting things to talk about. All you have to watch is the destruction of society's results on the minds of most. So many people, as they open their mouth, they give proof of peculiar. So many. So I know I'm going to miss stuff. I mean, come on. I'm going to miss stuff. It's stuff out there like if you just start with J-Lo and her delusional mind, but a woman, a lot of men with money spend time with.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
they can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They have
They
not-
need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need
to
to love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in relationships with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's a
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
So J-Lo is yet another woman who is allowed to speak, and the mental downfall is so obvious. I don't know why these women go on platforms to speak, but I will tell you this. I think the people who have the platforms are just as bad. In fact, I will say they are worse
Wow.
than the people who sit up there and make a fool out of themselves, obviously.
I mean, they should take some type of responsibility. I mean, we've talked about, this has been a running theme on the channel this week, is that these platforms, these traditional media platforms, they have agendas. And Corey always talks about that. And the system and how it's built is set up to prop up people who aren't bringing what you, the people, need to see. That's why you get to see these messages. That's why you get to see these celebrities obviously in dysfunction, sometimes in addiction. And these are supposed to be your leaders. They hold them up to you and they give them all types of agendas to push, whether knowingly or unknowingly. You know, because sometimes they want to say they didn't know what the agenda was, but in the same breath, they got used to push that certain agenda.
See, the platform that allows a lot of people who have mental issues to get you money, you're part of the downfall of society as well.
Exploitation.
There are countries where their internet is not a tool to destroy the people.
Yeah, some don't even have it.
You can't go on there and bring the people down. And most people who live here in the States would not be allowed, not only on the internet, in public places, with the mentality you have here that will bring your people down. Let me go deeper.
Go deeper.
And this gonna bring drama, but what can I say?
Uh-oh.
My brother, Charlemagne the God, said, these people are like Thanksgiving dinner. The people who are bad for the public, but good
For your pocket.
for that show. The mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
The people who are going to go on there and do things that make you watch the show. Because everybody wants to see the car crash. People who have sense, slow that show down.
Interesting. And that's funny because now there's a whole economy of people, certain people that can tour podcasts like Charleston White and folks like that and get paid. They're actually being paid for these appearances because of the numbers that they garner. And that's not an accident. That's not an accident at all. The Charleston White shows up to this place and the numbers skyrocket to the roof. Charleston White even admitted that. He's saying y'all didn't listen to him when he was trying to be a social activist, when he was in his community and he was working hard. But all this dissing rappers and talking about rappers and starting beefs, y'all love to see that.
Felicia Rashad went on that show and she spoke on positivity toward sisterhood.
Right.
And gave some advice on how a lot of the sisters need to conduct themselves. She was shot down by that audience. That audience didn't appreciate her at all. Now, I'm not here to talk bad about the Breakfast Club, but I'm speaking facts on the Breakfast Club.
And that's our elder. She was trying to reach young women out here and they spit in her face. That's crazy because we covered it on this channel. As an actor, I have so much reverence and respect for someone like Felicia Rashad. We don't get those that often, you know, and to be so motherly and matronly. And every time she's out in public, you ain't never got a bad story about Felicia Rashad. And we're in such deep dysfunction that her talking about traditional values and women acting a certain way is scoffed at. And we're in trouble.
The Breakfast Club is a landing spot for drama because they only want drama. It's been called their Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm not just talking about the Breakfast Club. Howard Stern, I've been on that too. In media, there's a saying, if it bleeds, it should lead.
Yeah.
Media is designed to destroy society at all costs to get the results they want.
Wow.
Destroy society at all costs to get the results they want. So what I'm saying is, when you see a J-Lo, Aisha Curry, Umar Johnson, when you see these people at platforms where you know they're going to bring society down, even though some of them get messages that it seems like they're bringing society up,
Right.
a la Umar Johnson,
Right.
but they're really bringing society down. These are people who aren't mentally stable and bad for society. They are sat down, laugh with, interview. I don't know the lady's name. There was a lady who was arrested for lying on men and getting them in trouble, and she got caught. She speaks with that accent, I think that's from Europe or something. I mean, this was about 3 weeks ago. This lady was all over the internet. And there was a lady interviewing her. And I'm like, so do you understand by you sitting with this woman and publicizing her and talking to her as if she's not a roach, you're hurting society. You're hurting society. And there's people out here will say, Corey be hurting society. Show me how. Because another thing that hurts society over here is the truth. But it's a good hurt when you tell somebody the truth. When you're honest with people and tell them what they need to know, I could live with that. If somebody's telling me the truth, I can live with that. But all I see is people allowed to go on these platforms and lie, blame, all the stuff that's done. It's like, yo, this is all this show pumps out. I'm talking about those shows. I'm talking about like Howard Stern. Fuck it, I'm in trouble already. The Breakfast Club. And I've always shown love to my brother Charlemagne at the Breakfast Club, but I'm just being honest, man. I just can't keep tucking my tail in with this. We're putting out information that's hurting society by allowing people that do nothing but hurt society to sit next to you and laugh and joke with them.
I love that he's pointing out it's people you wouldn't expect that are hurting society. You know, if you look at the Breakfast Club's lineup, it's been very political at times or it's been very superficial at times. Whoever the hot candidate is and they're pushing the agenda in that regard, even as far as like the comedians that they've picked to come up there. Like, how many times are you going to have Donnell Rawlings up there? I get it. He's your friend. That's dope. You know, Corey's probably went up there once or twice. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Over the years that they've been in existence. I think that's ridiculous, especially now, you know. And I don't know if, you know, like he said, he's got respect for Charlemagne and, you know, he always speaks highly of Charlemagne for the most part. But I think it's about time they had somebody like Corey on there to say what he want to say. You know what I mean? Not only that, and I know, you know, he's got his things with Just Hilarious, but I do think there's echo chambers that have formed. And they're not really serving us. They're not serving us in the way that they could be.
I don't want people around me that always lie. I mean, you can't stop people from lying. But I'm saying, when a stranger is next to me lying, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm gonna say something. I don't even like going to other people's podcasts because I feel like I'm going to be put on the spot, and I know when I speak from the heart, I need security to go on people's podcasts because I'm just a man. And I'm saying, like, what Jennifer Lopez was saying is insane. She actually thinks she's a victim of men. When it is absolutely the other way around. She say she's never been.
And the irony of her doing it on a press run for Kiss of the Spider Woman. She's literally playing the Spider Woman. But she thinks it's all good. I don't know. How many times has she been married? 4 times? Multiple public relationships? She really got some nerve. Like, you gotta be concerned. Like, and I think Corey is a bit concerned that this woman in her 50s at this point is so delusional. Like, it doesn't give you any hope for the regular women that are out here. If this is who some of them might be looking up to, you know what I mean? Like, when are the mature women with sense going to step forward and start instructing these younger women? Because there's a lot of, you know, back in the day, they used to have finishing schools. Like, there is none of that anymore. Like, it's like they're feral. It's like they're growing up wild without any help. And the parents aren't able to do it either.
It's absolutely the other way around. She say she's never been loved. Been fucked a lot. Ain't nobody said that. The interviewer, well, you've had a lot of male intimacy, that is for sure. And with all the men that were intimate with you, you mean none of those guys loved you? Because that's revealing. If none of those guys love you, let me tell you something those interviewers are not going to have the courage to tell you. You're incapable of being loved.
Ooh.
Man, why don't nobody say this? Look, you have a vagina that's been looking for a home for 50 years. There's women out here who have a vagina that's been looking for a home for 30, 40, 50 years. And they will blame the world for them not having a home with love in it.
Yeah.
No. This lady has had so many opportunities with men with money. But if you look at all those men up there,
Oof.
I
Ben Affleck, Mark Anthony, Chris Judd, and Ojani Noah.
see a pattern of something. We looking at P. Diddy,
A-Rod.
P. Diddy,
A-Rod,
A-Rod,
and Ben
These
Affleck.
those are just boyfriends.
She looks for men who have the public spotlight because this makes her feel better. She's actually conquered these men, but one of the most revealing things ever said about her was said by Jamie Foxx on his special, I May Need Security.
Oh yeah.
And isn't it funny that the special was called I Need Security? He was like, everybody walking up, hey, J-Lo, J-Lo. But on set, they was like, hey, ho. If you call J-Lo a hoe, somebody might say you out of pocket. But is this the definition of a whore? These are just three of the guys that we know about.
And only the famous ones, too. There's some that were...
Yeah, everybody put up the famous ones. This woman is bad for society. Does she have children?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
By Mark Anthony, who's a big singer in the Latin community. And actor.
I
You know
remember
Mark
that.
Anthony. Okay.
And what was she saying about him?
Well, allegedly, or word on the street is that he was with his wife, Dayanara, when they got together, allegedly. So,
Well, all I'm saying is this. This lady will never be prosecuted for mental illness. But there are countries where she would be a villain. They probably would run her out of the country.
And that's a fact. Anyway, go check out the rest of the video on Corey's channel. But he's got some points here, man. He's talking about the fact that J-Lo, he's talking about the Breakfast Club, but I don't want you all to get it confused. He's not talking just about J-Lo and Breakfast Club. He's talking about a culture that these places represent. J-Lo in some ways represents the lack of accountability of the modern woman. You know, you literally had the world at your feet. You had the opportunity. You even had Ben Affleck, a do-over with Ben Affleck for your relationship. And it still didn't quite work. Why? And we live in a society that doesn't ever put blame or responsibility on women. That she could get on national podcast, radio, whatever you want to call it, Sirius, what Howard Stern show is on, and with a straight face say,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them.
that they weren't capable of loving. Say that there was something wrong with the men in her life, every last one of them, but not take a second of reflection to look back and see how she may have contributed to some of the destruction of her own relationships. And that's the same thing that goes for the Breakfast Club. If the Breakfast Club is honest with themselves, they're definitely a shell of their former selves. They're not even where they used to be 10 years ago. I don't know why. I mean, that could be a production issue. That could also be just people know the drill already. So the good guests aren't willing to come up there and make a fool of themselves. You know what I mean? So therefore, the Breakfast Club suffers by being a guest reliant platform. I think they've tried to actually make up for that by making more of the storylines between them more of a feature of the show. You know, the Lauren LaRosa and Jess Hilarious beef, and you know, who's going to be the host and all this. Like, they're trying to build the reality show around this. But is that what we need right now when you've got a platform with that many ears? Right now, it just seems like they're coming to punch the clock. And that's unfortunate. Because if that's the case, you probably should give it up. You all have successful ventures outside of it. Angela Yee went on to do her own show and step outside. Charlamagne wants to do TV. Envy wants to do car shows. Like, you all should pursue those things and allow this thing to go. It just seems like it's not serving the community in the way that it should. I mean, I can't even think of the last time I watched one of their long form interviews. I mean, I see clips every once in a while, but, and you know, we don't have all the answers here online, but we just give you an alternative and something to think about, you know, as we move through this world. So anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.